Welcome back everyone to Piney Plays Burglar. We have arrived back here at Mediceld. Let's see what the king has to say this time. Of course, we are going to have to get by a Hama. Hello there, Hama.
What brings you hither against the word of Theoden?
Sorry about that. This is not the first time you've come before the Golden Hall of Mediceld. It is in my mind that you were sent from here in disgrace by command of the king. What brings you hither against the word of Theoden? How many unwanted visitors will bring ill news here today? Huh? Oh, you haven't heard. You're not the only unwelcome guest to come to Medicel this day. Some are within the Golden Hall this very hour. Oh, well, how about that?
You are not the first to come here today.
Yes, you're not the first to come today testing the word of my heart against the command of the king. Do I compound an earlier error by allowing you into the hall, or do I make all right with a single throw? Never have I so rued this post. The will of Theoden is clear, but I do not believe you come here with any evil intent. You speak of dangers to the north and all around, but returning here brings the greater danger upon yourselves. Is that not the truest sign of your good hearts? The king must be told what you have seen. Speak to me when you are ready to continue into the hall, and I shall take your weapons as it is my custom. Then you shall proceed before the king, and we will see if I have misjudged you. I hope for your sake, and for mine, that I have not.
We have returned to Meduseld against the king's orders, but we do not seem to be the only ones coming to the Golden Hall to speak words of warning.
Well, let's see who else has decided to interrupt the king today, and they look like some serious guards there, just in case we do anything wrong. We're not alone in the Hall of Theoden, Petronella. Well, yeah, I see some guards, and I see the king is most likely there. And there's Eowyn, and probably Green and Wormtongue. Uh, that looks like Gimli, Aragorn, and Legolas up there. So, yes, quite a company there. Yes, let us approach and see who has the ear of the king. But we will interfere only if it be in the interest of Rohan to do so. All right, let's go. Let's...
Theoden, son of Thengel. I have returned, and I bring warning and wise counsel. A storm is brewing. All good people must stand together or be destroyed.
I greet you, Gandalf, but why should I welcome you? You bring troubles wherever you go. You say a storm brews. I say you are its herald, a bringer of woe and ill tidings.
You speak wisdom, my lord. All around us the news is grim. It is not 1 week since your son and heir Theodred was slain on the western marches. You cannot trust in Eomer. He would empty your city and leave your treasures unguarded. And now Gondor tells us that the Dark Lord stirs once more in the east. It is curious, is it not, that these are the days in which this ragged wanderer returns to us.
A worker of evil may come in fell times, Grima, son of Galmod. But there are also those who come when they are most needed, when days are darkest.
I did not mourn when Shadowfax came back riderless, Gandalf. The return of the horse was made all the greater by lack of the rider.
So it was, my lord. See his rags? Have you ever seen such a beggarly figure?
The courtesy of your hall is not as it was, Theoden, son of Thengel. Has your door ward, Hama, not reported the names of my companions?
I see only churls and vagabonds, and you the worst of them all. Be gone with you, and leave my lord to those who do not wish him ill.
You know not of what you speak, Grima Wormtongue.
Uncle! Well, he's gone from gray to white now. Ah, Petronella, I'm glad you made it here from the Wildermore so quickly, but I will need to hear your report of that land at another time. All of us have work to do, for the king is not yet free of danger. Keep an eye on Grima, if you would. He's slippery, and I fear he may intend further harm to the king. Whether he can work a greater harm than he has already performed is a question for which I have no answer. Stay on your guard. Theoden.
I offer you my counsel, if you would have it. I have ever been a friend to the house of Eorl, and would not see it come to its ending.
Nor would I, Gandalf. But it is so dark. So dark.
No, my friend, not all is dark. Behold! Beyond your darkened windows there is light. The skies shine above, as they always have. Will you heed me?
Now I see the shadows for what they are, Gandalf. They are fleeting, like a grim memory. How came this to be?
Interesting question. Shadows or the disappearance? So, it is done. I think that went rather well, considering what is at stake. We have so little time to waste, and much depends on haste. We cannot spend these precious moments squabbling among ourselves when the real foes lie without. Save one, Grima, son of Galmad, called the Worm Tongue. He's an enemy of Theoden and of Rohan, and he remains within. His fate will rest with the king, as it should. The king seems to be standing straighter now, which is good news. Hello there, Gandalf.
It seems your road entwines with ours for a pace or two more.
Ah, I would not celebrate so quickly if I were you. War has already come to Rohan, and its drumbeat deepens with every passing hour. We're beset on all sides by evils both known and unknowable, and to be near Gandalf is to be near danger. Grima would say I brought the danger hither, but I do not doubt he would. But I say Gandalf goes where he's needed, and for this day and every day, that is where the danger is deepest. Well, do I get Gandalf's gift? Do I get Gandalf's favor? Or do I get Gandalf's grant? Well, it's sort of all moot since I still have the special earrings.
Much has transpired since last we met, but my companions can give their account.
Yes, my own account would take too long to tell, and from any other would beggar belief. You would trust my tale, I'm certain, but then only because you have experienced some things nearly as peculiar. Know this, Petronella, I bear tidings both glad and sorrowful. The task set before our mutual friends at the last homely house is still ongoing, though some of that company are here with us in this golden hall. Some others carry still the burden to their destination. The errand is not yet done, but neither is it abandoned. Those will be glad tidings indeed. I will let Aragorn tell you what this joyful news has cost us, for it was not bought without strife. Okay, well, I had some clues when I was searching the various areas along the east wall. Well, Aragorn, what's the story?
We meet again, my friend. I am glad of it.
Yes, it seems that there is a shortage of friendly faces in this land. One man of honor I met, and he was imprisoned for his kindness to me. Ooh, what was that all about? Hmm. Gandalf gives you the joyful tidings, and that leaves the ill news to me. It has been 1 week since our fellowship was sundered on Parthgalen, along the banks of the Anduin. Boromir of Gondor fell there. He gave his life protecting the halflings Meriadoc and Peregrine, but they were borne away by the great orcs of Saruman. Others went another way. I had to make a choice, and I chose it. We could not abandon Merry and Pippin. I do not know if I chose right. The orcs were destroyed before our pursuit ended, and Gandalf tells me that the hobbits found safety. Should I have done otherwise? I can't say. But now we must do what we can for Rohan, and put behind us what regrets we may. Right? Well, Gimli, what have you got to say?
I have cloven a number of orc skulls since we last met, but it is not enough.
You want to kill more orcs. Yeah, that sounds like Gimli. It's been several weeks since we last met, Petronella. What have you done in this time? Because I've cloven a number of orc skulls since then, but not enough to satisfy my hatred for those beasts. Some of their ilk led us on merry chase across much of Rohan, and my chest fills with pride to tell you that I outpaced even Legolas in that race. Well, good for you. You did a lot better than the Peter Jackson version of than Gimli did. Yes, I may be winded, true, but Gimli, glowing sun, did not abandon the pursuit without need. When we caught up with the Uruk band at last, they had already been slain by men of Rohan. It has been 2 days since our pursuit ended, and I nearly caught my breath again. I have never run so far or so fast in all my days, and I would be content to stay in one place for the rest of them. If that place were a mountain with good stone and deep roots, that is. Oh, yes, of course. You would have find a good mountain home. What do you say, Legolas? How did you find the little run?
It is good to see you again, though we are met on the very precipice of danger.
How have you fared since we last spoke, Petronella? Yes. What is it that your people say? You've gone from the frying pan into the flames, and the frying pan was hot enough. You have had adventures to spare, Petronella. It seems we have all done so. I'm glad your own journey brought you to Fangorn, as did mine. I could spend years exploring beneath its canopy, never feeling the passage of time, were it not for the pull of that which moves my feet. Once our friends are safe, perhaps I will follow that pull to where it leads. Legolas knows my quizzical expression. With unusual laughter, he melts away. The sea, Petronella, he responds. I speak of the sea. Ah, the sea. Now let's see what the king has to say. Majesty.
I feel as if a heavy shroud has been lifted from my sight.
My days were filled with dark dreams, and my nights were no different. What foul craft of Grima's is to blame? No, not of his doing alone. It was my weakness that allowed him so to dominate my mind. No longer. I am myself again, and free of his whisperings. It is well that Gandalf arrived here when he did, and that Hama allowed him to pass the threshold. That transgression I will forgive. Grima may have intended further mischief. Indeed, I'm certain of it. Leave Meduseld and speak with Hama. Tell him I want Grima's chamber searched, and my sister son Aylmer released from imprisonment. Those actions were poorly done, and must be righted. Yes, very well. Back to Hama, and I'm hope that he's happy that he chose rightly. Hello there, Hama. The king wishes you to search Grima's rooms and to release Aemir.
These are better tidings than I believed possible.
Yes, you returned from within on your own power, which tells me that your wager was correct, and that you will draw breath until tomorrow at least. And these are better tidings than I believed possible. You are a friend both new and true, to bring me such words. Theoden, my king, you have been brought from the darkness by the wisdom of Gandalf. He's the Stormcrow no longer. White Wizard, friend to Rohan and his people. I rejoice to hear it. Theoden King restored at last. Yeah, one of the interesting things concerning the Stormcrow is that when they first released skirmishes, the Bloodrook was called the Stormcrow, and in the next major update after that, they changed the name. Probably because they didn't want a name associated with Gandalf to be used as the name of one of the lieutenants or something like that. I don't think they ever gave an exact reason for it.
I will guide you to Grima's chambers, as the king instructs.
Yes, we must remain alert, Petronella, for Grima may have left seeds of some mischief in his chambers. He may still manage to work some evil, and that would be cruel cut indeed, to know of his treachery and still succumb to it. Grima's chambers are to the northeast of the steps that lead to Meduseld. Come, and I will show you the way. Ah, Grima's chambers. Hi there.
It would seem that we are not the first to search Grima's chambers this day.
I wonder who else was searching here. Well, it's time to play the burglar, I guess. See, we have some books here. A marked page in one of these books reads, No mere wit he. Alright. What's in this chest? The chest is tightly locked, and you possess no key for it. What use is it being a burglar if I can't pick a lock? Oh well, such skills I guess I'm lacking. A crude map lies on this table, but you cannot discern what it represents. It must be a pretty poor map then. What about these books here? These books detail the geography and history of Rohan, but contain nothing of note right now. Alright. What's in the drawers? These drawers contain linens and fine clothes, rumpled now and in disarray. And here? This cabinet stands empty. Did someone get here before I did? is that. And what's here? A table. Carved on the table is the crude representation of a crying eye. A crying eye or an eye of Sauron? Well, he's for Saruman though, not Sauron though. And this chair, let's write it at least. Well, no, I guess not, because beneath the chair I find a golden key. Oh, how nice. Now, does this unlock the chest? Inside chest, I find items too varied to be Grima's, including a sword. A valuable sword. You recognize this weapon?
What did you find there?
Ooh, that is Aragorn, the sword of Theoden. It is possible that the king asked Grima to keep the sword safe in his chest, but such safekeeping is no longer necessary. I'll return Aragorn to its master once I've brought Eomer word of this release. For now, bring these other items to Grima in Meduseld and see what he has to say about them. These items are both too varied and too valuable to be his property. I'll warrant, and his explanation for possessing them should be very, very interesting. Maybe he's an enterprising burglar. Did Grima steal these items? And if so, what does he have to say? We'll have to find that out in the next episode of Piney Plays The Burglar.